Okay, so we're saying that due to the fact that we're tapering this, there's really only going to be one flue here. There's going to be a cap at the top. What we're saying is that anytime there's a manufactured piece that's going to be on there, like this flue cap, and these windows, get a cross section of what the new piece is. Just put in the file of what we're going to be doing.
Right, for approval. Okay, wherever you see where I've done this symbol, that means I need a section through that thing.
So that's cutting the wall and looking down that way?
And
oh, really?
The way I've done it is to show that you're cutting through, and that's the direction you're looking. The arrow is in the direction that you're looking.
Okay.
Okay? Sometimes that's critical, sometimes it can be either way.
Okay.
And then here you're showing a bracket, but it's not showing up here or here. Okay? So these two brackets here, or this bracket, looking at the front of the building, you should see it.
Right, okay.
Okay, so that needs to be clear whether it's there or not there. Because it's showing it two different ways.
Oh, okay, sure, definitely.
Now this is a little bit tricky, and this may just not be completely thought out yet. This line goes over and it goes past the edge of the wall, and yet you're showing these as open rafters.
Yeah.
So one implies that there's some sort of soffit in there. See the way that goes past?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the other implies that it's just open all the way up. So I need a detail to understand. That's what I've got here.
Whether it's a soffit or they're going to be exposed rafter tail ends.
Yeah, we need to resolve what is going on. Which condition is going to actually be.
Cool.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same with where you have these two pieces that jut forward.
Mm-hmm.
Then that changes their relationship to this band, which I assume is also jut forward.
Yes,
okay.
Slightly. And there's a house that we took this from that's on 21st that I can get. Would it be helpful to get you a picture of this house?
No, I need a drawing that shows me what you're doing. Okay, so you need to make that cut through here. So that's why I had this section here, and then I have one that's going through here, so I can tell. Oh, it's the same detail. It's just shortened.
Okay.
In other words, see these pieces, I assume that those are jutting out.
They're going to be a little longer, and these are a little shorter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just kind of comes back. Yeah, it's kind of.
So we need to understand that.
It's a beautiful detail.
Right. Let's see. This bracket shouldn't. It straddles this jutting part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be very awkward because it has a piece at the back of it that's going up behind it, and that can't straddle this.
I'll show you how it is on the other house, and we'll draw a copy of it. And I think the picture or the photograph might be further explanation that you guys might like as well. It's almost exact. This part right here looks so cool with these bay windows that they wanted to keep it. It's just so cool.
No, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just I don't have enough information to understand how it's resolved.
Okay.
And that needs to be in the file.
Sure. Okay.
So the same thing with this. You see this bracket here? It's not shown over here.
Okay, so make sure everything's on one side is on the other.
Right.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Okay. We probably need to understand if a partial floor plan of the second floor across the front would help, even if it's just done right above here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that I understand how far these come out. I can see it here.
Yeah, they're not more than 8 inches or less than 10 inches. Something.
Now this one is a little trickier. I don't know what the condition on the place you're looking at is, but you have two very different style roofs.
Right.
I assume that this one means to be an open rafter situation.
Yes.
And that this is some sort of closed soffit.
Mm-hmm.
They need to match each other, one or the other.
Okay, we looked at this at the beginning with you, and you were looking at this and then this here. So I think, maybe my thing is if these are soffited under here, then the soffit would be fine here.
Right, exactly.
There's another house that I thought was sort of interesting about this too, on that same street on 21st, and it's unique. You don't see too many of them, with this hip down here and this gable at the front.
This is probably a later addition.
It sure looks like
porches get messed a lot.
Sure.
So what you would be duplicating was a house that had been altered.
Okay.
So
So what
this
you're
is
saying-
new. We're going to try and make it look like a piece, a single piece.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So again, soffit below, soffit on the eaves.
Right.
And
or
so which is good.
exposed below and exposed above. Either however you like.
So we were thinking of doing the shed across here and just making it easier, exposing it.
Well, that gets at another question. So, but think it out. If you're going to do that, think it out all the way. So every detail of it.
On the house that I was saying about the picture that we took to do this part up here, it has a shed roof on it. And it would be easier to mimic that. So we put this on here because we like the enclosed part here, but they also like seeing the really cool cut ends of the raptor tails. So now, basically, just one or the other. But yeah, what were you going to say about the shed?
The hip roof, the way it's poorly resolved, where this transition happens kind of accidentally.
It's tough, yeah.
So the ways you could fix that would be bring in the porch a little bit. That would move this point over to there. See what I mean? Or shed roof is another good way to do it. Or you could lower it, or you could change the roof pitch. So I want to see that line end at that corner, or over here. I want it to be intentional, not accidental.
I'm completely with you on that. Yep, I'm totally with you on that.
Okay.
So this potentially could resolve it. By
Shedding the whole
in.
thing would, or scooting it in.
Squeezing it in, yep.
And that actually is probably a better solution, because having this soffited porch go so far by the edge of the building is kind of atypical. The porch would be in just a little bit.
And you see it a lot too. You can't see it. There's examples of it either way, but you see a lot of times too where this is just in, and so there's kind of like a nook.
Right. Here.
Yeah.
Over on the side here.
Yeah.
And that it actually, construction-wise, probably makes it easier, because the porch goes into the other thing instead of having to get this. See where the siding is actually
to try to tie in and all that. Yeah.
Tricky.
Do you guys hear that? Thank you. Okay. So that's
why I had the dotted lines here to show this. Maybe this would be easier if this was just a column and this siding butted into it. My dad was a building contractor. I built these things. I know how tricky that's going to be to make.
It's yeah, right.
Okay, because you have to make sure the siding works all the way across, and then the piece has to be exactly in the right spot for the next one to come down.
So
if it just butts in, then this reads as a column all the way to the ground, solid, holding up the building.
There is a cool look though, having this sided too.
Yeah. Either way, I want it to be thought out so that we don't get into.
Oh, you said it was going to be this, and now it's funky.
Exactly. You're coming back to me. Well, can we do it the other way? Because it's going to be too expensive and too hard. So.
No, I'm with you. I want to keep it down and keep it simple. I think a simple design on this could be more cost effective and look just great.
Yeah. So then we need a section. However you decide to resolve that, we need to have a section through that porch, all the way. So we need to understand it. Does it have a ceiling? Is it exposed rafters? What is it underneath? Because you can't see it in this drawing.
Sure. And so you got two here. You got this and then this.
Right. I did one. This one goes through the column as well, and this one goes through the railing. It wouldn't need to be the whole height. It could be just the railing part.
Oh, okay.
But it is it's two different conditions. This one I drew so it actually goes through the steps, and the base of the column, and the eave. So I get all that whole story all together. And this one is just mostly to capture the relationship of the railing to the floor, to the front.
And we've found a clever way to be able to reduce ventilation drilling up through the beadboard